Did you find that that was true for a lot of other professors, or maybe he really stood out to you?
Well, I think at least in America, I find all the professors, or most of all the professors I met, they are all passionate with what they are doing.
Wow.
Yeah, that is what I found.
Yeah.
And that is the first thing. And my second observation is they really see through the things. They see based to the fundamental level, not like, okay, we just roughly design something and then just give it away. That's it. Yeah, so I think that is the biggest difference. So now in my laboratory, I think most of my students, they will find out, okay, I'm very picky.
Yeah. Hi, welcome back to Chatty AF. I'm Francis. Today we have a professor, Professor Chang. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm from the Department of Biomedical Science and Engineering. Yeah, I always have to remember that. And now I think I work as a professor, as a teacher for about 4 years. Yeah.
Wow. And so at NCU, you've worked here for 4 years, and we recently just met. Your department is really great. I really enjoyed presenting about why I chose to study abroad, why I chose to come to Taiwan to work. And so I'm curious, do you have any experience going abroad, or even like, why did you invite me to give that presentation workshop at in your department?
Well, that's a very good question. And first of all, I would like to thank for Francis. His presentation is very good. And because of his presentation in the seminar, well, one of my international students, he decided to go study abroad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Recently, we have discussed about that. And I think, okay, I really hope that he can continue his study in my laboratory, but I still support his research, like to go abroad, because I think everyone should just go abroad and see the world. The world is so big.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of challenges and charming things. You have to enjoy it. Yeah, I think that is the most valuable thing that why I invite Francis to our department for the seminar. And well, I can share my experience about, like, I used to work as a postdoc in Michigan. Well, and I have to say that is the most enjoyable, I think, so far in my life.
Wow. Why?
Very
is that?
relaxed.
Wow, that's a really big statement.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of different when you really like live out. Maybe, well, let me think about how to rephrase it. Maybe, Peter, can you, let me think about. Living in Michigan, I think that is really relaxed. But it doesn't mean that I don't have to work at all. No, the pressure is still there. But because I think the land is so big. So, yeah, most of the time, you can enjoy the life, the view there. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
In either in winter or spring or summer, they'll have different kind of views. And of course, living abroad, there's definitely some challenges. Like, well, one thing is I'm alone to deal with everything. I think Francis will feel the same thing if you're abroad alone. Yeah,
it's hard. You're away from your family.
Definitely.
You have to meet new friends. Even culturally, right? I'm sure as you worked, the way people communicate in the U.S. is very different, and very similar here in Taiwan. Local Taiwanese people communicate very differently. It's not as direct. Oftentimes I have to like read between the lines.
Definitely.
And you can't really say things very directly here. So I understand, it's quite difficult. But like you said, I think it's really rewarding, and which is why I've traveled so many times.
Yeah.
And because if you don't try it, you don't, one, get to experience it or even know, if it's for you or not.
Definitely. So when I work in the United States, in Michigan, of course, I have lots of time. Well, from like Monday to Friday, I have to work, but at the weekend I can plan. Can take some vacation. But since I came back to Taiwan, well, I haven't have like a weekend for 4 years.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's serious. Because there's lots of works for professors, like writing grant proposal, and then that is how, But I think everything's worth. Well, we have to try everything. And the reason why I choose to go abroad because I share this idea, my thoughts with all my students. I say the reason why I go abroad because I want to know why they can publish paper in Nature and Cells and but I can't.
What? What did you find out?
Well, to be honest, I do find out something.
Okay.
Well, I have to say, when I work in Michigan as a postdoc, I follow my professor's direction, and he's really good. And well, I would say a very great professor, and he led me with several great publications, like Nature Methods, Cells. Yeah, I have some, but not as a, maybe I collaborate with others. So, but I think that is a very wonderful experience. And I got the conclusion after the 3.5 years of working experience is that they see the problem directly, straight to the point.
Yeah.
Well, you'll find out, I don't know, because when I study, sometimes I will overthinking. Yeah, overthinking, maybe think, oh, maybe I should do this, do that, do whatever it should be. But in America, in Michigan, where I study, I'll find out that, okay, they see things very straightforward. They look to the fundamental.
Yeah.
I think that's a different. And most importantly, I think I find out that they are smarter than me, but they work harder than me. I can share one of my experience. Christmas Eve is always important for American, right?
Yeah, very.
Yeah,
very
so
important.
no one really work
No.
at that time. But I really have this deep impression because I work with my professor, and one day before the Christmas Eve, usually the people will think, oh, we should take a day off.
Sure, yeah.
Well, actually, we have some software tool like data analysis problem. And we discussed that internally, like very late, like around 8 o'clock. I'm still in the lab working, right? Like one day before the Christmas Eve.
Wow.
And finally, I solved that. And then I went back to my dorm. I got a message from my professor. Say, okay, I see the result.
Whoa. So he's looking.
He's still working.
Yeah.
I say, okay, but we still need to fix something. So can you please check it? I'll wait.
Wow.
When you see a professor message you that, oh, he'll wait. You definitely cannot say, okay, wait for 1 week after.
Yeah. No, sure.
You'll definitely say, okay, I'll do my best. So that is very impressed me because I worked till the early morning, like 1 o'clock.
Wow.
In the next morning. And that day is Christmas Eve. And finally, I finish it, and then I go back. We still have to work. Yeah, there's no holiday. So that's when I work in America. I know, well, in Taiwan, we are very happy. We are very good because we have so many holidays.
You do.
In America, I think we only have like 2 or 3, except for the holiday for Christmas. I think we only have like.
Do you have Thanksgiving? Like
maybe
one day.
One day.
1 day for Thanksgiving.
1 day for and
maybe
the national celebration day for the like in
July 4.
I think I only have like 2 holidays.
Okay.
2 or 3 holidays.
Wow.
Very few. Yeah. So in Christmas Eve that day, I still, as usual, I go to work. I went to work and then I arrived my lab at around 9:30. I think, wow, see how hardworking I am.
Yeah.
But when I arrived my lab, I find out my professor already worked there.
Wow.
He's already there. And he said, hi, morning. I think he's kind of like at the lab around 8 or 8:30. Right on that early morning, right after I sent him the last result, and then he confirmed with me that, okay, the result is good, so let's take a break. And after like 6 hours, he still like arrived the lab earlier than myself. Yeah, see, so that is why I'm so impressive. There's always a reason why people got success.
Right, and it really sounds like he's incredibly dedicated to his work and probably really passionate as well. Did you find that was true for a lot of other professors, or maybe he really stood out to you?
Well, I think, at least in America, I find all the professors, or most of all the professors I met, they are all passionate with what they are doing.
Wow.
Yeah, that is what I found.
Yeah.
And that is the first thing. And my second observation is they really see through the things. They see based to the fundamental level, not like, okay, we just probably design something and then just give it away. That's it. Yeah, so I think that is the biggest difference. So now in my laboratory, I think most of my students, they will find out, okay, I'm very picky.
Yeah.
Because if we really want to make things perfect and every details count, I think.
Absolutely. And really starting from the foundation and having the basics down and making sure that, starting from there, you're working your way up and continuing to perfect everything.
Yeah, definitely. And don't overthinking.
Right. Yeah. I think what you kind of just shared really reminds me again, just like the communication style and just like the cultural differences in how we approach, our life, our education, especially here in Taiwan and talking to a lot of students. They're just so focused on, a lot of students, maybe not everyone, but a lot of them are so focused on the grades, and they sometimes miss the bigger like concept or idea.
Definitely.
Do you notice that as a professor?
Yeah, I think sometimes, seems like in Taiwan, grades are very important to students. And they will think, okay, I missed 1 point, I missed 2 points, and then feel sad. They feel upset.
Right.
And I have to tell all my students I met, I say, grades is not the most important thing. When we, as a professor now, I stand in the other side, from student to another side. I think I've been there in both sides. I have to say, as a professor, most of the time, of course, grades would be the first impression about how you dedicate to this research field or the courses. That is one of index we can count on. But the most important thing, other than that, I also want to know what's your passion about.
Right.
If you have passion, your eyes will shine a light.
Yes,
You'll see that. You definitely find out that. I think so far I have supervised over 30 students. I mean, in my laboratory, now I have some students in my lab. And every time when a student comes to me, they want to join my lab, the reason is because they love programming. They want to learn programming. And I have one student. Yeah, I always use him as an example. I hope he didn't see this video. But he's an excellent student, and he is now in, I think, his second master degree.
Wow.
He has great passion about programming, and he loves participate all the competition like about programming. So he like to join the games and about programming, and then compete with others and to improve his programming skills. And there's like 2 years ago, in my laboratory, we need to design some efficient algorithms. So I announced a challenge. Yeah, a programming challenge. I say, okay, now we have this challenge. And back then, I only have like 7 students in my lab.
Wow, so you've grown quite a bit.
Yeah, so from 4 to like 10 to now I have about 20 students.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so every student, I think, if they have passion, I'll see that. Or not just them, other lab members will see that. I use that student as an example because we usually have the group meeting at 9. And after like in the group meeting, I announce the challenge, but programming challenge, and then say, okay, if anyone who will design an algorithm with a like Java programming language, and with the most efficient algorithm, then I'll give the scholarship of $5,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and the next day I got the algorithm from the student.
The next day.
The next day.
That is. Is that?
Now the exactly next day is like 6 hours later. So
that's incredibly fast, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the field too well, but 6 hours sounds incredibly fast.
That's why when you really find the passion, you'll know it. Because when I announced the challenge, the programming challenge, that student will say, okay, Professor, I want to give it a try. So 7 of my students, they'll give it a shot. I give some time, like some of them will deliver their result in 1 week or 2 weeks. I think that's fine. Because the most important thing is they can practice it. And that student, because he's passionate about programming, he said, Professor, I really need to finish it. Otherwise, I cannot sleep.
Whoa.
So so I think we have the group meeting at about 8 o'clock at night.
At nighttime.
Yeah, at 8 o'clock at nighttime, because we have students, they'll take different courses, so it's impossible so we can gather for group meeting in the daytime. So usually my group meeting time will be from 6 to 6 o'clock in the evening.
Wow.
Yeah, so after the group meeting group meeting and at 8 o'clock, I think, then after like 6 or 7 hours, like the 3 a.m. next morning,
yeah, so the student
emailed me the results.
The student, like you said, did not sleep and really just took the time to solve that challenge.
Yeah, so he just very proud and sent me an email. Professor, I finished it. See, this is how I designed it. And then I have to say his algorithm is the most efficient one, and we patent that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we did patent that. And our patent just got accepted.
Wow. Yeah. Congratulations to the student.
To the student, yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
Well, see, I think in my life, I do see that if you have passion about something, like my professor, he also has passion about what he's doing.
Yeah, and that's why he stayed, up during Christmas Eve, and you really get to see that, and that translates, from your young and your student, and maybe even that professor probably, already had that passion, that love, that dedication from a younger age.
Yeah, definitely. And so as the student, and he find confidence from what he's doing. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for sharing that story. That is, it makes me
think about your passion.
Yeah, and like, wow, how far am I willing to go? And if I'm, if it's not like staying up and really trying, like, is that really even a passion? For me, I've always loved teaching and education, which is what I've done for the past 10 years. And I would like to think I'm quite passionate about it. But I don't think I've ever stayed up late. I think maybe the field is different. I have had many, many discussions about certain challenges facing certain students, and how like they might interact, or maybe their test scores might be low. So like, how do I help them improve? And so for me, the way I display the passion is really reaching out to many different people and just figuring out the best way to help a particular student in that particular situation. And even coming here to Taiwan and working in the EMI field and working with the students here at NCU with just sharing my stories and my experiences, but also a huge part of my job is working with students on either like test prep or studying abroad applications. And so I know Elm and Jenny right now are working with Alden, the other Fulbrighter. But hopefully, right, like they're consistently coming, and I hear they're progressing quite well.
Yeah.
And then I'm also casually just practicing English with like Tommy, Will, and those students. And so I see, each student have their own like need, and whatever that is, I think as an educator, that's where I try to meet them at. So it's really interesting. Like some, really like the class that I teach, and some really enjoy the workshops, but also some are okay just like coming to the podcast. And so for me, my passion for education comes from just making sure students are receiving what they're looking for. And so I've thought about, being a professor, but PhDs are, they're quite challenging. I have two friends who are doing it right now, and they say if you're not 1,000% sure and 100% passionate about it, it's so difficult because it just takes so much time and effort and energy. So I'm just curious with you, how did you find that passion for your field, and then how did you end up in Michigan? And can you kind of share with the audience just kind of your timeline of how you ended up here at NCU?
To be frankly, I didn't think about me being a professor at the very beginning. I have to be frankly, because I like solving problems. Yeah, so that's why I often share my story with my students in my classes, and I told them, don't be frustrated if, from high school to undergrad, like college, we need to feel what department, like which department or institute we would like to go, right?
Right. That's the huge difference in, the U.S. versus Taiwan.
Yeah.
Like in high school, how do you know, like that's
definitely
what you want to do?
Definitely. And my story got a little bit interesting because I miss Phil.
Oh, okay.
I miss Phil. So back in my high school, I really hate programming. I have to say I'm no interest at all for programming. And I only fail one course, that is computer. And that is called computer.
Yeah.
So I make up my mind, say I never want to study anything related to programming. So once got the announcement, I got accepted in the Department of Information in Zhongshan Private Medical School, Medical University. Yeah. So I got very shocked.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe I should redo my test again next year. Yeah, but fortunately, I think I'm very lucky because I met very good professors there. I think in my whole life, I met lots of professors. Yeah.
So having a mentor, a
good mentor.
Exactly.
I have met several good mentors in my lab, including the one in Michigan, and college and master and PhD. So I'm very grateful about that. And my mentor, we have become good friends. And he also promotes some of his students from my original school to my laboratory.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's really good.
Is that school in Kaohsiung?
In Taichung. That is the medical university.
Okay.
Yeah, 中山医学大学. Yeah. So back then, I really feel frustrated when I got noticed that, where is this?
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Programming?
Yeah, no way.
I really don't want to do that. Yeah, so for that, when in my first year in college, I do my best. I really want to switch to another college, but I failed, apparently. That's why I stayed there. But the reason why I say it, my mentor is very good because he supervised me and then let me know about the knowledge about artificial intelligence. I think that is the most popular topic now.
Right today, yeah.
Right today. But back to like 2000, you'll think, okay, no, it's not that popular yet.
Right,
but I'm start working on that. So I got all the knowledge I need. And for my master, I successfully applied to National Chang University.
Oh, Tainan.
Yeah, in Tainan. Because I also met a grad mentor there, and he is the one who introduced me a project about development algorithm and then solve the problems in LCMS. LCMS stands for liquid chromatography coupled with mass spectrometer. It's a very popular technique, but people will not usually know that. But when we do all the drug examination, or like 三聚氰胺, the milk, they were like milk with some poison material.
Okay.
How we detect that? All with the LCMS.
Ah.
Yeah, and then in my master's study, I developed an algorithm to solve the problem. And of course, from master to PhD, I need to decide if I want to pursue my PhD later, right?
Yeah.
So in addition to mentors, I also have lots of great friends. One of my senior student, he introduced me that there's a Taiwan International Graduate Program, TIGP program in Academia Sinica. And he asked me if I want to pursue my PhD there because they provide higher salary or like scholarship.
Great. Do they still have that opportunity?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So if you are interested, you can check out Taiwan International Graduate Program, TIGP program. Yeah. So I think now they'll give the financial support up to 50,000 per month.
Whoa, that's quite a lot, right? For your first job,
for a PhD student,
even
that's
PhD,
really good.
Yeah.
So they'll have lots of criteria that we have to feel like we need to have like a good TOEFL, good English proficiency, and of course we need to demonstrate with IBT, TOEFL IBT, And I have to say that before my master graduation, I already got like 4 jobs acceptance, and I'm still waiting for Academia Sinica to give if they want to give me the decision if they want to accept me. And I have this discussion with my parents. They say, okay. My parents are very open for everything. They say,
That's
this is your...
also really important in students and like just people pursuing passion. When you have that, not only a mentor, but also just like family support, friend support.
Yeah.
I think that also helps you find that passion and allow you to be bold and try to explore it. Because otherwise, when you don't have that support, when you don't have that mentor, even if you think you're passionate about it and you're not progressing, you're not exploring it, then I think it could be quite difficult. So that's amazing. Yeah. So you have had great mentors.
Great mentor, great friends. And I have parents who with open-minded. They think, okay, it's my decision, it's my life. I just need to be responsible for that. So I really have to say it took me 30 minutes to decide that I want to pursue my PhD. I don't know why.
Meanwhile, I've been thinking about it for years.
See? That's different. But, I really have to say, it really needs to be 1,000% of sure to decide if you want to pursue PhD, because it's really not easy, especially in Taiwan. Because I have my PhD training in Academia Sinica, and I think they'll have higher standards. And I have mentors. My PhD mentor, she is also one of researcher in PI in Academia Sinica. So everything will be higher standard. More challenging. And I have to say, I spent some time there. And later, before my PhD graduation, I approached my professor and said, I want to go aboard. And I didn't share her why I want to go aboard. But I think I just share with you.
Right.
I want to know why others can publish papers in Nature and Cells, but I can't. So I go aboard and study. My mentor is really nice. She said, okay, we have a professor, a visiting professor. He will be here like maybe next week. I'll introduce you to him. So I met with a Michigan mentor professor. Only we have 13 minutes discussion.
Oh, so the professor that you worked with at Michigan was the visiting professor?
Yeah.
Whoa.
To Academia Sinica. So everything's connected.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was like, you really had that, pipeline of just mentors and just meeting them at the right time. And
definitely.
And for you progressing.
Yeah. So I think after the 30 minutes discussion with my Michigan mentor, he just said, okay, then let's prepare for your visa.
What? Did you have to apply?
Yeah, I have to apply that. And
I was like,
they have like in Michigan, the University of Michigan, I think they have HR, human resource person who will take care of everything. I just need to fill up all the essential documents that the lady provided to me. And I think the lady is really nice.
Yeah.
So I think everything just got smoothly, and I graduated and then stay in academia about 6 or 7 months. And then I go aboard to Michigan. Yeah, and then begin another life. I have to say,
that's incredible, and I bet that your mentor probably saw that same passion in your eyes that you described, that you see in your students. So this kind of like full circle moment is amazing.
Yeah,
that's so great.
So as I just said earlier, I like to do research, and now the reason why I decided to pursue my PhD is because I see the opportunity developing biomedical tools, especially for LCMS data processing. There are lots of huge marketing. Because in this field, developing one software tool, the price for that tool per year is, $1 million.
Wow.
See, maybe you can do the calculation because I really have trouble converting.
Yeah, that's, I think it's 300,000 USD.
Yeah, 1 million NT dollars.
Yeah,
just
like,
for
like
single
30,
software
31,
tool.
33. Yeah.
And because you can see the price for one LCMS is also expensive. That is $3 million USD.
Oh.
3 million.
Wow.
That is a basic one. And
that is
if you want to have a more fancy one, the price just goes up. So compared with 3 million USD dollars, 1 million NT dollars seems very.
It's not much.
Nothing.
It's like, it's not much.
Yeah. So there's lots of great opportunity. So I also want to let the students know that there will be a lot of opportunity in bioinformatics, in the field of bioinformatics, because the course interdisciplinary will be the future in the world.
I agree. I think that, transition with, especially also AI, it's super important to have skills to be able to interact with a lot of different fields.
Definitely.
And finding a way to even just maybe connecting them. We were talking to a student who's interested in a master's, and he really he loves programming, but he also understands that with his programming skills, as AI advances, he understands that maybe it's like finding out what the humans need, or like how to combine other fields with his programming that AI can't do. Yeah. So it's been a great experience being here at NCU. I'm learning a lot, honestly. To be frank with the audience, a lot of things that you're saying I'm not too sure about. But that's the beauty of being at a university, and just also learning in general. You really get to continue to learn new things and just meet really good people. And so just appreciate your time, and I look forward to continuing to collaborate with you.
Definitely.
And again, thank you for sending quite a few students to our consultation, and just continue.
I'll send more.
Yeah, please. And with the next year as well, in the years upcoming. So appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you, and thanks for your invitation. And I really enjoyed this chatting today.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much. And also, again, if you ever need any workshops given, I would love to come and give it more.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have a workshop hosting like 12 students from Indonesia. Okay. Then maybe I'll ask for your help.
Yeah, please. Okay. Thank you. All right.
Okay. Nice to. Thank you.
Great.
For the invitation.
Thank you, audience, for tuning in. Had a really good time chatting, and I will catch you next time.